Hey, everybody, welcome inside the studio for another horror review. My name is Tyler Bell. I am the host and creator of the Westside Fairytales dark fiction and horror podcast. I write horror, I like talking about it. And today I'm talking about Suspiria, the 2018 remake of the same titled film, originally by Dario Argento, this time directed by Luca Guadagnino, starring Dakota Johnson as Susie Bannion, and Tilda Swinton in a triple role as Madame Blanc, Dr. Joseph Klemperer, and Mother Helena Marcos, and a series of other spindly, flippy, turny, dancing ladies who are all members of the Dance Academy, a ballet conservatory run by witches in Germany in 1977. The film begins with a young ballerina, Patricia, having a mental breakdown in her psychologist office. The psychologist is a man named Dr. Joseph Klemperer, played so convincingly by Tilda Swinton. I've had to start this review a few times over because I could not find this guy's name in the cast notes because it's not a guy at all. It's Tilda Swinton. The scene's not good. And I bring that up basically because I don't want you to get filtered by it the way I almost was. Chloe Grace Moretz sort of just flips and slips and creeps and crawls all around the set, chewing on the scenery and speaking. I don't know. Maybe it's really good German, and that almost filtered me out, and I almost didn't watch the rest of the movie, but I'm glad I did. So if you get to that part and you think it's bad, just try fast forwarding it until you see Dakota Johnson's character, Susie Bannion, being introduced a short while later. Dakota Johnson's arrival in the Coven-run conservatory of ballet dancers seems to knock a already tenuous power struggle between the new and old guard, represented in its entirety by Tilda Swinton characters, but their names are Madame Blanc, who is actually Tilda Swinton, just wearing clothes, and Mother Helena Marcos, a dark, semi-omnipresent character whose name is always whispered in hushed tones, and there's always, the insinuation that what Mother Marcos demands, we must adhere to. Those sort of wonderful little moments. The longer that Dakota Johnson's character stays in the conservatory, we learn a little bit more about her and a little bit more about the girls there. Mostly that they are all not really aware of the fact that there are witches running the place and that girls sometimes disappear, and it's usually blamed on the stresses of being a famous ballerina. And I'm kind of going to leave the plot alone there. It's another movie where there's plenty going on, and there's not too much going on at all. It's good. It's a good plot. David Kajganich wrote it, and I think the real strength of it is in the atmosphere and the buildup. There are a lot of great moments in this, and it's really worth it just to get to those, even though some of the interceding parts can be a little dull. I don't blame that against anybody. You got to have low points between your beats. You can't go out 100% all the time. So if you want to turn this movie on, I say turn it on. And if you just please make it to the first kill. And if that doesn't sell you on this film, I don't know what else will, because it did it for me. The first kill and the subsequent disposal of that body were just miraculous, just amazing. As the film continues on, it goes down some pretty predictable pathways, at least for me. I don't think almost anybody is going to be surprised by the twists that arrive by the end, but who gives a shit? The effects are amazing. A lot of the performances are pretty cool, and stylistically, the film is just amazing. The set dressing is done wonderfully. There is professional choreography. It is at a ballet school, and you don't have to worry about people not knowing how to dance, which is potentially something that could happen. I've seen movies about music where the music was terrible, And I'm pretty sure there's a fair bit of dancing films out there where people didn't want to hire a choreographer. They said, you know what? My daughter took 2 years to tap. I'm sure she'll figure it out for us. This isn't the case. The prime dance number that the movie leads up to, a sort of grandiose spell of sorts, which I won't get into the greater purpose of, is done in, it's probably the first time I've ever enjoyed interpretive modern dance. It is a art form that is lost on me entirely. I like dancing. I like watching people dance. But if you do anything more spiritually or emotionally complex than like bebopping or breakdancing, you've lost me. Ballet is cool. This isn't like typical ballet. This is the, that blah, 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 and you slap yourself and then you fall on the ground and then you growl and you crawl like 5 feet. Normally it wouldn't be cool, but the costumes, which are the next really good thing, really well done, and the props are amazing. And in this dance number, there is a gore moment that is, you see it coming and it just doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen, and then it does, and it's wonderful. But the costumes that the girls are wearing are these big twined up red rope things. They are in a lot of the promotional images, so it's not much of a spoiler. And they're just whipping these things around and spinning in them. And it's got a good like little message in there, about bondage, but also the ropes are frayed. Hey, I see what you're going there. You're doing here. This little subtext. I respect it, and I really like it. The culmination of the film is obviously a ritual. And the end of a ritual, you can't have a witch movie and then end it on something non-ritually. Come on. And it goes wrong for the people that want it to go right, and it goes right for the people that want it to go wrong. And it's pretty amazing. At that point, you do get to see Mother Helena Marcos in her full glory, and God, the creature makeup on her is fucking amazing. Stick out the movie for that alone. And then you get to have the comeuppance moment, and it kind of draws back to an earlier scene, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun all around. The ending is just fire, and it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. The weird part is, thinking back on it, that Tilda Swinton was in 3 different characters right then, and I never even noticed. But respect. So, getting into grades. For competency, man, flat 9. Flat 9. I cannot complain about anything about this. It had great art direction. It was beyond just simply middle of the road competent. It was pretty incredible at times. For the creature effects, the gore effects, and some of the moments, man. I've seen a million fucking horror movies. I've written things that people have told me in messages are give them nightmares, or have made them give them the squicks. And my jaded ass was still broken at a few times during this film. It's nothing crazy, and that's why it's good. It's not Saw gore, where it's just like, oh, okay, this guy's being twisted into 17 different pieces by all the rotational parts of 16 Cummins. It's an engine made out of a delicious Mediterranean spice. No, it's amazing. The gore moments are cool. The set dressing is neat. The witches have these things, and I feel like they were in the original movie. Like I said, I haven't seen them, but they are little sickles, and they're not very little. They're about yay big, and they're plain unadorned metal, just a little thick on one end for a handle, and then they're just like spines, almost like a stinger, and those get used, and it's not good. They're never explained what those things are, really, just that they're very sacred. They're ornamental, and just for that. And there's a few scenes when they get deeper inside the conservatory and seeing the dark underbelly where the witches live, where you really get the feeling that there is a very rich world inside of this Coven's universe. And inside of this movie, it's just amazing. Enjoyability, 9. Oh my God, I love this film. It would have been a 10 if not for that first scene. It's not quite perfect, but oh man, tippity tip tip top. Almost all the way up for Suspiria. Flat 9. Enjoyable as hell. Is this a horror movie? 5. Thank you. Full marks. Almost full marks all around. Yes, this is absolutely a horror movie. The kills that happen, it's about witches. Paranormal stuff is just abounds, and the last 5 minutes, well, not the last 5 minutes, but the culminating 5 to 10 minutes of the plot is just straight out of a Gwar video. It's beautiful. Everything about this movie is wonderful, save for one scene, which is probably the only thing that's keeping it from getting a perfect 10. And you know what? Hey, maybe I'm probably just fucking wrong about it. My ultimate review for this movie is absolutely go see it. Please. You might not 100% enjoy it. You know, this is definitely a mileage may vary, but you're doing yourself a disservice by not at least checking this out. I'm not going to tell you it's the best horror film ever made. I'm not going to tell you you're guaranteed to enjoy it, but you have to see it. You have to see it just to see it. It's a spectacle. It's weird. It's fucking gross. It's cringy as hell at points, and I loved it, and I'm so glad I saw it. And I think you will be too if you give it a second and go check it out. Hey everybody, that's the review. Thanks for stopping by. Please give this thing a like. Please comment down below. Tell me if you liked it. Did you hate this movie? Are you going to go see it? Would you never watch it? Fuck Dario Argento. Hey, check out all this stuff here. If you want to learn more about me, we have other reviews, and you can check out episodes of my podcast to see if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Can I write horror? Who knows? And until next time, as always, stay safe out there.